Hey guys, so today's wrap up is a really little one. I only managed to read 3 books in February and 2 of them were rereads. So the first book I finished, which was a reread, and it was an audiobook of The Lair Jeans by Feburary. Now I was kind of on a mission that did fail to reread the first 3 books of The Diviners and then read the last book, King of Crows, which did not happen in Feb. If you have not read The Diviners, we are following this cast of characters in 1920s New York, and there is all this sort of paranormal stuff happening. Each of the diviners have a different set of abilities. So we follow Evie, who can sense objects, so she like touches an object and she can read it. I won't like tell you everyone's abilities because I think a part of the fun of the series is discovering what abilities everyone has and how they work. I just love the characters. I love the 1920s vibe. The audiobooks are amazing. I gave it 5 stars like I did the first time, but to be honest, it probably felt more like a 4, just a little bit. I really liked that the second book, though, Lair Dreams, we really focused on 2 other characters. So one of the characters is a minor character from the first book. The second character is a character that we meet for the first time, and I just love them. It's also really diverse. One of the main characters in this second book, he's actually gay, which, you know, is a huge deal in the 1920s. And then we have a Chinese American that we follow. They're not just there for show. We actually also look at the social issues that people from minority groups faced during that period and how they were treated. And I just love how Feburary does it and how she incorporates it just so seamlessly into the story. Like, it doesn't feel like preachy at all or like jam-packed. It's an element of the story, and it makes you just feel like you're in 1920s and you're just experiencing all of it. You know, so much of the 1920s we look at how glorious it was and how glamorous, when we also have these social issues that Feburary really incorporates into the story. And I just love it. I think it's so well done, and I really highly recommend this. It's a brilliant YA series, and I know a lot of people love it and rave about it, and I think it deserves all the hype that it gets. Next book I read was Calamity by Brandon Sanderson. This is the final book in Brandon Sanderson's YA series. The first book is called Steelheart and the second book is called Firefight. I don't love this series. I don't even remember, what did I give this? I gave this 2.5. It's like a sci-fi fantasy, dystopian, urban fantasy mix. I don't know. So there was this event called Calamity prior to the first book, and it gave all these people across the world superpowers, but instead of becoming heroes, most of those people became supervillains and they like rule the world now. This series follows a group of individuals who do not have supernatural powers, and it's their fight against the supervillains and then trying to take back the world. I really struggle with this series. Not struggle with the series. It's a very easy series to read, but I struggle to enjoy the series. First of all, because I've read so much of Brandon Sanderson's other books, and his other books blow my mind. They are incredible. They are so creative. They are so unique to me. This definitely still has like his creativity in there, and I really like how they like explore the powers and how there's different level of powers and working out how to defeat their powers, because each superhero in or supervillain in here, which they call epics, they do have a weakness, and like trying to solve that weakness, well, that was all Sanderson. You could tell like that was very Sanderson. That was very clever. That was very fun. But I don't love the series as much as everything else. I don't think the plot doesn't amaze me. The story doesn't amaze me. The characters are honestly below average. Like, this main character in this, we are following this teenage boy, and he drives me nuts. Like, I just can't stand him, and I think that's why it's so hard for me to like love this series. He is obsessed with this one girl, like just obsessed because of how pretty she is, and so that's a huge reason why I didn't like this series. But this book in particular, it had my least favorite trope of all time, like plot trope. I always talk about this plot trope. I feel like I've talked about it in my last few wrap-ups because recently I've been reading a lot of books where they've had this plot trope, and I can't tell you what it is because it is a spoiler. It does spoil the plot. If you want to know, leave a comment and I'll tell you. But when it happened, I was just like, are you kidding me? I've read worse. I've read it been done a lot worse, but just whenever that plot trope happens, it honestly just lowers the book a star or two for me. I just really don't like it. It just ruins everything for me. And the last book I managed to read in Feb was my reread of The Order of the Phoenix. I feel like this book kind of has the reputation of being the least favorite in the series by the majority, but I love it. It's probably in my top 3, if I'm being honest. I love learning about the Ministry of Magic in this. I love learning about the history. I love Umbridge. Like, I mean, I hate Umbridge, but she makes the story so interesting. I love that we get Dumbledore's army, but then we also really get to know Ginny a lot more. We get to know Neville and Luna, and I love Neville. Like, Neville's probably my favorite Harry Potter character. So yeah, 5 stars, if you can't tell. And yeah, oh my god, I'm done with my wrap up already. Like, usually It's been under 10 minutes. Usually wrap-ups take me over an hour to film with raw footage. Right now we're sitting at like just under 10. So I'm done. Let me know your thoughts on these books that I've talked about today, and I really hope that you're enjoying whatever you're currently reading, and I will see you next time. Bye!